Hello, chicos, chicas, y all in between us, and welcome to another episode. Yes, I haven't given up on doing this yet. I'm so not a quitter at all. But yes, welcome to another episode of Incognita Latina, or Incognito Latino, or whatever you want to call it. So, in the background, you will hear, if you don't know me personally, then you may not know the fact that I am enlightened as to the fact that Mr. Omar Rodriguez Lopez is one of the greatest living artists who is still active and still the greatest. He was the guitarist behind At the Drive-In, De Facto, Bosnian Rainbows, and Mars Volta, my personal favorite, and now Anti-Mask. This is his solo album, of which he has like freaking 80 because he's a ridiculous human being. But this is one of my favorites, Old Money. All of the song titles are funny, like How to Build the Bilderberg Group, The Population Council's Wet Dream, don't know what that means, something about bunnies maybe? Family war funding, parentheses, love those Rothschilds. Is this about conspiracy theories? Am I listening to... Because this is instrumental. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. So, the reason I've been so busy lately and haven't been able to update my vlog is because something significant happened in my life. And the reason that I moved back here into this beautiful Oakland home of mine and my grandmama's is because aforementioned grandmama has been living in a nursing home for the past couple of months because her husband, my grandfather, or technically step-grandfather, but whatever, Papa Bill, passed away in the end of March. So she's been living there since like mid-March. And don't get me wrong, it's been a wonderful place and they took really good care of her, which is great because we had no other way to do it. And as it was, we were kind of like having a really tough time affording it because of all sorts of crap. But, you know, I wanted her to be able to live in her home if she could, and she can. She's not like, her health and her memory and whatnot are kind of starting to decline, but she's still okay. She just, you know, needs help and needs to be watched a little bit. So in a way, it kind of feels like I've had a child, but I'm never procreating and would have been the first to volunteer for sterilization should overpopulation become a thing. So, Obama, I know this lame duck period is supposed to be lame, even though you've been doing kind of cool stuff like the executive order about illegal immigration. But, do you think you could fit in something about like voluntary sterilization to curb the overpopulation of the world? Because I don't want no babies. I don't want them. But anyway, one of the reasons I don't want any babies, and the subject of this episode, you rambly old woman you, is elder care and the elderly. And it's something that I had a hypephany earlier. And I can do that legally now because medical marijuana. But my hypephany was, in a way, you could view my life as, you could view, because I've lived in California, Bay Area, whatever, my entire life, except for 4 years of college, or 4, bordering on 5, it was a little awkward, years of college in Massachusetts, plus a little time spent in Philadelphia, and then, what was it, 2002, almost 3 years in Ohio, just kind of being an adult and stuff, or like being a child trying to be an adult. I don't know. I don't really know what was going on in that time, but in a way, you can view my life as, and you can view that time apart as a hiatus from my lifelong career taking care of the elderly. Because ever since I can remember, my mother and I took care of her mother, my grandma Castro. My grandfather died when I was like 6 or 7, very young. And after that point, my grandma started developing very bad dementia. Her health was okay. She had broken her hip, but our family, and this stresses me out because I don't want to live to a very old age, because life gets really unfortunate when that happens, and you just kind of want to, I just kind of want to die at 60. Instead of retiring, can I just like die tired? But I really want to be elderly, because being elderly is also kind of awesome. I don't know. Tangent. But my family lives forever, and Grandma Castro was no exception to this rule. Her health was really good, apart from, you know, a couple average health problems that a lot of people have. And she broke her hip. But, you know, she got it fixed surgically and was moderately okay. But for most of my time growing up and being a teenager, I and my mother were her primary caretakers. We never lived with her, and she didn't move in with us, although she stayed overnight with us a couple of times, here and there, when it was convenient, or she had surgery or something, I don't know. But we were the only... Grandma had 5 kids, because Latin Catholics, we procreate like no one else. It's absurd. Like, is there even a Spanish word for condom? Is it like sieve? Is it the same as the word for sieve, so we get confused sometimes? I don't know. But so everybody moved away some certain amount. I had one aunt and uncle who stayed in California, at least, but they were kind of far away, so couldn't be actively taking care of Grandma. But me and Mom were like 10-15 minutes away, so we saw her every day, sometimes multiple times. We got her groceries, we helped her around the house, we cooked and cleaned for her, although she cleaned like a mofo. My grandparents are all hard-working Latins, which is why I've never gotten the stereotype of the sleepy, lazy Mexican, because I've met maybe like one lazy Mexican, or a handful, a small smattering, like no above average. The exception to the rule is wait. Yeah, the exception to the rule is lazy Mexicans, because we work like mofos. We work ourselves to death in the case of some of us. Namely my father. Was that bitchy towards my dad? Not really, because it was a compliment, because he was a hard-working mofo. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting on old lady time. It's almost 10 p.m. I don't even know. But to go way back to the tangent that I went off on earlier, here's some tips for taking care of the elderly, because I've been doing this my whole goddamn life. At some point we had to get like a live-in caretaker for Grandma Castro, but for the most part we took care of her until that point, and we would still check in on her every day, or at least a couple times a week, until she finally had to go to a nursing home. So I am being that caretaker person for my grandma, because I have some professional medical training. I'm working on it, but I certainly have the amount that an STNA would have received, I think, between my pre-med studies and doing phlebotomy training and all sorts of rando training. I know a lot of things about human bodies. That sounded creepier than I thought it would. So here I'll run down a couple of cool little things that are going on with this, and also this is going to mean I'm going to get to talk to the internet a lot, because I'm going to be home and bored with technology, and I can get out all my cursing with you, because I don't want to curse in front of Grandma, so ha boobs. Anyway, reason that I'm glad I will never procreate, because is because I'm already a neurotic mother. I insisted, even though we're a little tight on money right now, I insisted on investing in this video baby monitor. I almost went super fancy and got the video baby monitor that you could hook up to your phone. That's what a phone looks like, because you don't know what a phone looks like. So if I needed to go to the store for half an hour, I could check in on her too. That's not creepy, because I'm taking care of my grandma. But this one does still work from 600 feet away, so I can be up here, I can be downstairs, I can do whatever I need to do. And it's got night vision, and I've got it, probably can't see it on the Computrix, but it looks like Paranormal Activity, which is why I'm pretty sure I might. So if there's ghosts and demons in my house, I will know about them, and I will respond in kind. But this thing's great. I can turn it up all the way, so I feel like I'm plugging this. Summer! So from the makers of other summer infant products. Not just for people who have babies. Anyway, I can put this thing on, and because my grandma is a fall risk, aka, you know, she also broke her hip and has back problems, so she uses a walker, but, you know, accidents happen, you slip, that could be really bad for her. So I turn this mofo way up, put it next to me while I sleep, and I can get up whenever I need to. BT dubs. The fact that I'm a night owl who has a really weird sleep schedule and can function on very little sleep has made me, like, bred for this sort of lifestyle. Like, nursing, I'm gonna own you. I don't just pump me full of caffeine and send me on my way. I will incoherently treat any illness with ease and great customer service. Okay, so this Rambly account went on way longer than I thought it was going to, so I'll just say this is some sort of introduction to the elderly, and I guess kind of, oh, that's what I was going to talk about, how taking care of your family is a Latin thing. Nostra cosa. But, no puedo, porque I already recorded the thing. I can't re-record it. Well, I can re-record it, but I'm not going to because I feel like this is still entertaining. So, I will do a thing about how taking care of la familia is nuestra cosa for the Latinos. And I hope I look like a really cute Spanish movie star from the 40s or something. Because I'm bored, so I do my makeup really fancy for no reason. I haven't left the house today. And I wore a full-on cute dress. I almost did my nails. I started doing them and then got distracted and recorded a vlog. But yeah, when I started recording this, this little baby started making noise, and I was freaked out at first because, as I said, my house is full of ghosts. But I pressed the video button because you can turn the video off so you don't use up all the battery. But I turned the video on. Oh, Grandma's getting up. Helped her to the bathroom, helped her back in bed, and oh my god, so one thing that I learned from my other grandmothers, my favorite caretaker other than, you know, obviously family members, because my aunt Joyce also took care of her. My aunt's a sister, my mother's sister's a sister. My mother's sister used to be a mother, but not a mother superior. What was that? Sorry, but it was all accurate information. She also stayed with Grandma Castro for a minute. But anyway, from Belen Ramos, this Filipino lady who helped us take care of Grandma Castro, she taught me to always be affectionate and loving, because that's what these people deserve. That's what the elderly deserves all the time. They fucking earn it. So, woohoo, like crazy. So, I always tell her I love her. And when I tucked her back in the bed, I said, I love you, honey. And I gave her a little kiss on the cheek or something. Somewhere. Kiss on the somewhere. That wasn't the mouth, because she's my grandma and I'm not a Targaryen. But, gave her a little kiss. She said, oh, thank you, honey. You're such a sweetie. And even though she doesn't always know who I am, that was really sweet. So, on that note, bye-bye, Interneta.